name is Carolina Medina. I am Colombian. I am a political scientist and I have a master's degree from the London School of Economics in International Development. Basically what I do in Colombia is currently try to expand a business model that I started alongside four classmates from LSE in Kenya called Socatext. And what Socatext does is create a virtual buying group for small vendors in slums so that we can use mobile phones to aggregate their demand and give them access to wholesale prices. So we have a double social purpose. We, on one side, economically empower small vendors in slums and also contribute to food security at the base of the pyramid.
Nice. So since you are an entrepreneur by yourself, and I can see that some of the hackers that were at our hackathon probably in the future will follow, your example. Can you explain us how everything started?
For Socatext, you mean?
Yeah.
So basically, we were four students at the London School of Economics. We heard about this huge social entrepreneurship competition called the HALT Prize. It's a competition put together by the HALT Business School and the Clinton Foundation. They launch a yearly challenge, social challenge, and get students from all over the world to develop business models that solve this challenge. So one of my classmates heard about the 2013 challenge, which was food insecurity in urban slums in developing countries, and decided why not? We should totally apply for this. And he just started putting together a team. I had prior experience with food security, especially here in Colombia. So he considered I was going to be a good asset for this team. And basically, it all just started to happen. It ended up being a year-long process, from the moment we applied in December 2012 up until we actually became a finalist in late May 2013.
Wow, congratulations!
And then when we moved to Boston for an accelerator program, a 2-month accelerator program put together by the IXL Innovation Center and the HALT Business School, I feel like if we hadn't been there, I wouldn't be here today trying to make this happen. So it was completely inspiring. It actually gave us that little push towards piloting in Kenya. And it was just an amazing experience. We pitched at the CGI annual event in New York in late September 2013. Wow, time flies. And we're the audience's favorite that night. We came in second. We didn't win the $1 million, but we're very close to it. And it definitely helped incentivize us to keep going with the project. And I guess in the process, it's been great to know that we're continuing operations in Kenya, but also looking to expand our model to Latin America, starting in Colombia.
So from this experience as a first-time entrepreneur, what did you learn and what surprised you the most in this journey?
Well, I guess the first thing that surprised me was the fact that this world actually existed. I had no idea that social innovation was a thing, or social entrepreneurship was a thing, and I am a political scientist, was always very moved by social causes, but felt there was a huge gap around the way things are done currently in development. So donors, big organizations, just money, bureaucracy, and despite that, I decided to continue along the social road, right? And when this actually happened, when I discovered you could do well and do good at the same time, it just made sense for me for the first time, and I sort of just discovered a passion. I guess the most difficult thing, though, was realizing that you don't necessarily plan things, and they just sort of happen in life, and you have to start, I guess, with that entrepreneurial spirit to make the best of what starts happening. Learn a lot. What you don't know how to do, then go Wikipedia it or something, Google it, and then do it yourself. I've never ever been involved in businesses, or I had no idea what a financial projection was, or what equity was, and these are things that I've had to learn and had to deal with, and it's been great. It's been a great journey.
So you're really focused. Your product can solve a real problem here in Colombia. Can you explain us in your own country how this is going to have an impact?
Sure. So basically, what we see is that in the whole world, there are around 200 million people in urban slums who are suffering from food insecurity. And the reason behind this, we believe, are high prices. people are getting access to food in the city. It's just that when the food arrives to their slums, it's way too expensive. And this responds to the fact that it goes through a bunch of middlemen before it actually arrives to the small vendors in slums. However, we see in these vendors an opportunity, because only in Bogota there are between 80,000 and 120,000 small vendors in slums alone. So if you like match 1 and 1, then it sort of makes sense. You know, these people have a network of customers who are at the base of the pyramid, who come usually from working in the informal sector, who have unstable income, and then they have this opportunity to give them access to cheaper prices of healthier food. So what we're aiming to do is, by working directly with vendors and aggregating their demand, creating collective orders every day that allow us to bring food, healthy food, cheaper to the slums in a sustainable basis. And in order to be part of our system, these vendors, who are also going to see their own businesses thrive because of this, have to pass down 50% of the savings we provide for them. So in this sense, in the long term, we will hopefully be able to provide 1 additional nutritional meal for families per day. Per family per day, actually. So that's how we hope to impact.
That's really awesome, and I think that a story like yours are really inspiring and are the same things that we are trying to achieve with the Hack for Big Choices. Because this wake-up call of saying you are young, you are full of talent. What can you do in your country that can really have a huge, important impact? So as a judge, how did you see the hackers at the hackathon? How did you feel these guys were approaching the problems?
Well, I was actually wowed by the whole weekend. I feel I'm very inspired by the energy I feel, and I felt there was a lot of energy. I feel that people who go to a hackathon have no real personal interest in mind, but just a drive, a social drive that allows them to like mix their creativity with their skills and create amazing solutions. I was very inspired by several of the solutions that were there. I was also amazed by the fact that people could come up with these great ideas in just 3 days and make them happen. Their dedication to actually make them happen. And I guess if I were to pick off the top of my head, one of the solutions I really enjoyed was Zoom, the biking solution to reduce school or to increase school attendance. In Colombia, and it's a real issue. Kids don't go to school just because they don't have money to pay a bus to go to school.
Wow.
So thinking of alternative ways to solve this mobility problem for them, I feel it's very inspiring.
And with your great international experience in politics science and in business, how did you feel actually the team trying to solve the problem? Do you think that their solutions are realistic, they can be implemented, or what was the lack?
Well, I don't really like to think of this as lacking. I feel like it's more of a space that could be worked on, right? And I would say it's thinking around the business models and the value propositions. I feel like these are people who have a lot of technical skills of developing an amazing software in 3 days. And of coming up with really creative ideas. But once they have to tie that idea down to an effective business model and to value propositions that are actually going to be relevant to the clients they've picked, there's a bit of work to be done. I, however, feel that when I went around and got to speak to some of the teams and ask them questions about their client segments and then how they thought their business could solve their problems and how they were going to make money simultaneously, it clicked on their minds a lot, and it wasn't a challenging process for them. So I feel like it's more about asking the right questions and leading them in the right direction to ask themselves those questions as well.
This is why we enjoy so much to have you as a mentor and a judge.
Thank you.
A big part of a big components of the hackathon is asking them the right question and help to guide them to what's the focus and what are the part of the main issues of the business that they need to solve.
So it was great for me, so thank you for having me.
It was our pleasure. One last thing, if you have to give an advice to the hackers who won the hackathon and the hackers who will come to the next hackathons in Brazil, in Mexico, in Africa and so on, what that advice will be?
I feel like in life, there are certain moments that happen and you weren't expecting them to happen. And I'm thinking about the team that won in this hackathon. I'm pretty sure they arrived not knowing if they were going to win or not knowing that they were going to develop this great idea in such little time. And it's not going to be easy. There's going to be tons of challenges along the way. But I feel like the best advice I could give is always go back to that magical moment when it happened. When that aha moment came to your minds and then this amazing idea popped and it started building upon itself, right? So to the team that won, keep working hard no matter what challenge comes across you. Learn what you don't know. Look for people who already know the things that you don't know as well. Seeking advice is always a great choice in my opinion. And for those who will be part of next hackathons, just work hard and play hard too.
Thank you so much.